This is Brother Ron Heard, also known as R2C2H2 Artist. You are watching We All Be TV, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. Can you dig it? Hey, everybody, welcome to another wonderful, entertaining, agitating edition of We All Be Radio, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I got a special guest coming on today. Just got off the phone with Brother FREEWAY, Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, the original. Many try to duplicate, but none could be the original. I actually met this good brother over a week ago. Actually, he was in town for a celebrity birthday bash with Floyd Mayweather and some other people, but he's a phenomenal person. I didn't know what to expect when I met him at the meet and greet at your CBD store in Memphis, out of East Memphis. He was very charming, gifted communicator, what they call, what some might believe, a natural, born leader. He had charisma. You could tell he had a love for people, and guy could be anything he wanted to be. That's how talented I thought he was when I first met him, and really very accessible. And so I don't think those things could really be fake. He was like a really sincere, authentic guy. I'm gonna read a quick bio before we get started. I see Brother FREEWAY is waiting in the studio. I'm glad, and he's a man of his word too. Y'all should check out his website. I'm gonna post that up right quick before we get him on, because we gotta support people that tell our stories. We gotta tell our stories from our perspective. It's very important that we do that. Let's see. And thank y'all so much for joining us. Like I said, I had to redeem myself a little bit because I did an in-store interview, but this is his website, freewayRickyRoss.com. Go there, check it out. Get his book also. His autobiography is available on that website. Don't go to Amazon. Don't go to Jeff Bezos. Go to Brother FREEWAY Rick Ross to get his story from his perspective on his platform, because we all be in it to win it. And I guess I'm going to read a little bit from his website, a little short bio to the point. Ricky Donnell FREEWAY Rick Ross, born January 26, 1960, is an American author and convicted drug trafficker, best known for the drug empire he established in Los Angeles, California, in the early to mid 1980s. He was sentenced to life in prison, though the sentence was shortened on appeal, and Ross was released in 2009. Okay, boys and girls, scholars and laymen, the woke and wokish or the sleepish, I present to you none other, the one and only, our dear good brother FREEWAY Rick Ross. How you doing?
Man, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, man. Your head kind of getting cut off there.
Yeah, let me see if I can raise it up a little bit.
Recognize the crown.
That's a little better, huh?
Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah, actually, I got a couple of copies. I ain't know when I first met you. I didn't know what to expect, man. I didn't really know, and you just came off like just a winner. The way you treated people, taking time to take pictures, sign autographs, and just answer questions. We really appreciate that.
Well, I am a winner. I've been winning all my life. You know, when I look back at my life, I've never lost. Even the time that I went to prison, you know, was something that I predicted for myself. Mm-hmm. So I realized that I have to be careful what I put in my mind, because my mind just might figure out how to get it for me. So I literally just about accomplished every goal that I set out to accomplish. So now I'm setting some new ones.
No, that's all good. I mean, we're going to talk about a little bit of those new ones you're setting. I think it's very impressive. I got to get clarification. You was born in Texas and raised in L.A.?
Yeah, I was born in Texas, 1960. My mom moved to L.A. when I was about 3 years old, maybe 4. I'm not quite sure which one, but right around that time. It was just
Okay.
before school starts, so I know I was younger than 5.
And also, we hear some stuff in the background, like there's a TV on or something like that.
There's somebody in the neighborhood playing their music. Hold on, let me see if I
Okay.
can cut it down.
Let me see. That's excellent. I want to make sure they hear you, man, because you
Yeah, you
got a
got
lot
good
to.
ears.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure because what you got to say is so important, like the way you say it and how you put it across. And you're just a natural salesperson. Now, is you already like, where you get that? Where you think you get that gift for being able to sell just about anything? It seems.
I don't know. I come up at a particular time. It was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of influencers in my life. Uh, people like James Brown, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali. Um, so I figured that era probably, and it also was a love era too. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
music was about love. About blacks, moving up. You know, I used to love those songs.
Oh yeah.
When I used to hear them, uh, and I guess all that stuff because they say we're accumulation of everything we saw, heard, and was told. So I'm just accumulation of that time. That was a time the hippies, uh, uh, the blacks trying to gain a foothold into this American dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I fell a part of all of that.
That's interesting. You brought up the music, but the love in the music, and it's like the music is so different right now. And I found out that you actually invested in Anita Baker's first album. Is that correct?
That's
That you
correct.
invest?
That's
How did
correct.
that happen? I'm curious. How did that come about?
Well, I played tennis, and a guy named Otis Smith, who used to help me with tennis. Um, One day I just go and I'm just gonna chill. I've been making some good money, and I just wanted to go and be by myself. So I went out to a tennis match, and I looked on the court, and here this kid that I used to help.
Mm-hmm.
When I was about 16. I'm a kid helping a kid, right?
Yeah.
So I see the kid playing. So the kid's playing at UCLA. One of the top players at UCLA now, and I'm just gonna watch his match, and I'm watching his match, and he starts arguing with these big white guys from Stanford,
Uh-huh.
and I knew that they were by themselves. No other blacks was in the stadium. Them and me, and it looked like the whole team was gonna jump on him, and I knew UCLA team wasn't gonna help him. So when I saw it coming, I got on the phone and I called my guys, and it just so happened, but it just when the fight started, my guys pulled up, so I was able to save them,
Wow.
and it's in the book. If they want to go in, you want to get all the details, go to the book. It's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I say one of the guys hit the old man in the eye who used to buy me tennis shoes and rackets, which was a no. Not in front of me. Maybe
Right.
hit him when I ain't around, but hit not my friend when I'm there.
Mm.
So my guys almost beat him to a post.
Wow.
Yeah, they beat him pretty bad. Uh, so I go down and I break it up and get all my guys out. I don't want to bail all these guys out of jail. We in Santa Monica, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to bail all these guys out of jail. So I get all my guys out there, I run them off, and I was good though, because nobody saw me do nothing. So I was the hero because I broke it up. They thought Big Otis called him,
Oh
because
wow.
Otis was in the record business. Otis found Rick James too. He found Rick James, Bobby Taylor, Johnny Taylor, Bobby
Oh, wow.
Womack. So he wasn't no chump in the music business. He was pretty big. You know, that's how I met Dick Griffey. I met Dick Griffey in what's the guy used to own Motown?
Barry Gordy.
I met him, Barry Gordy, and Dick Griffey through him, which are two legends. A lot of people don't remember those guys, but those guys are like the godfathers of black music. Well, anyway, Otis found out that I was the one that did that for him, man. Because he didn't remember me at first, because I changed. You know, I was a grown man now with hair on my face, and you know, I was strong as King Kong. You know, I could move L.A. if I wanted to.
Wow.
So he invited me out for dinner, said he wanted to buy me dinner. And so we go to dinner, we talk about old times, and he started talking about the record business. And it's crazy, you know, this guy used to pick me up when I was 16 in a Rolls Royce convertible. And this just shows how dumb I was. I never asked him what he did for a living. You know, I was just happy to get the little $20 he gave me for hitting tennis balls with his son. But when I got back, you know, into my senses, you know, I know that I should have been asking, man, what did you do? What you do for a living? And I probably, I should have been the king of music though. Anyway.
Well, you know,
I was right there with the guys who started it. They had the distribution. You know, Dick Griffey is the one that negotiated the deal for Suge with Interscope.
Yeah, because Dick ran Solar Records or something like that.
Solar Records.
And he was his mentor. Okay.
Yeah, he Suge started in his office. Suge started in his office. So I was with those guys in the 80s. I was hanging out with those guys in the 80s.
Wow, you was right there. So you had a chance to actually invest in Death Row before, like this Harry O. You know, that's the story that Harry O put the money up.
I was cellies with Harry when they started Death Row. So, but when I don't want to talk about Death Row. You know, Harry don't like me talking about their situation. So
I understand that, but like things could tell. Like, I want to ask you how you got involved.
This was before Death Row. This was before Death Row. Before Russell Simmons. This is before all those guys.
Yeah.
Was doing their thing. This is when the record labels was Beverly Glen Music and Solar was the black companies, independent.
Yeah. So you ever run into Clarence Avant, the black guy?
I never met Clarence. You know, I had opportunities. I could have, but I didn't understand. One of my guys was his personal bodyguard.
Oh wow, you so close to you just like 6 degrees of separation, man.
Well, you know, I put myself in a lot of circles, so when you put yourself in circles, you right there. But yeah, they asked me to come and meet Clarence. I never met Michael either. I had the opportunity to meet Michael and
Michael Jackson. You talking about?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
When they was doing Thriller, a couple of my high school partners, you know, played tennis with me. They also was good in karate, and they were personal bodyguards for Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Dick Griffey, and so I met all those guys, and those guys were like, they were my big brothers, really. You know, they was like big brothers to me. They was a year older than I was in school, and I was really small, so you couldn't say nothing to me when they was around. You know, they try to break your head.
Well, you're a very likable guy, though. You know what I'm saying? Like you come off so smooth and likable. It's hard to be mad at somebody like you. It's like,
yeah, I mean, you get haters though. You
get haters, but
you'll get some haters. You know, they don't like that you know that that you have the kind of pool that you have, and they, you know, sometimes they test it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you, like to me, like the way you come off, you like you try to, like, violence is the last resort for you. It seems like it's like
yeah. You if I do something to you, made me do it.
Right. You earned it, right?
Yeah, they made me do it. You know, I don't. You know, like I don't try to go for revenge over money or nothing like that. I make plenty of money. You know, that ain't my problem.
Yeah, but I know you had to deal with some crazy folks in your line. I mean, you had to deal with some sociopaths.
Shit, I still deal with crazy people. Shit all the time. I stay in L.A. I grew up in a Crip neighborhood, and I live right now in a Blood neighborhood. So I deal with shit all the time. They come over.
But you never was affiliated, right? You never claimed any.
No, but it's hard. It's hard not to be affiliated. You know, I mean, I never consciously said, you know, that. Now I used to, when I was like 10, 11, I was like, I'm gonna be a Crip when I grow up. But I never got to the point to where I said that no, I'm a Crip.
I mean, did you run into Stanley Tookie Williams or Raymond Washington while you was growing up? You know, guys.
I knew Tookie, but he didn't know me.
Everybody knew Tookie, right? That man was like, wow, okay.
But you know, now what I'm doing though, see, I got 3 guys that I went to school with, and they turned Crip.
Okay.
So I'm working on that right now. I'm calling it the evolution of Cripping, where these guys are I want these guys to come in and they're gonna lay out their story about how they became Crips. You know, how they did their 41 to 45 years, I think. And, you know, these are like really, 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 really like these are guys you don't want to meet in the alley.
All right, exactly.
You know, like these guys who don't play, they serious. Even right now, don't step on their shoe and don't say I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know? That's throwback. What about Monster Cody? You knew Monster Cody?
I knew Monster. Okay. These are guys who Monster wrote about.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't want.
They said Monster used their stories.
Okay.
Because you know Monster was with them in prison.
Wow, these guys.
Yeah, so these are the guys who like. I mean, when you look at him, you know, like, oh, don't fuck with him.
Yeah, you can.
He's serious.
Right? Yeah.
You know, I mean, like they're gonna come off so good on the screen. I mean, I can't wait till we start shooting. We writing up everything right now. But they're gonna come off really good on the screen. People gonna get to see the authenticity in their stories, and to get these kids a picture of what, you know, when you're a gangbanger, what you go through. And I think it's important that we draw those pictures.
Most definitely, and also, I mean, like I said, people need to get your book, Freeway Rick Ross book.
They better get it if they want some money.
We're gonna see this on. What's gonna go on with this? Is it gonna be a biopic or is it gonna be on?
It's already screen? Yeah, we already got the movie done already. It's written. I mean, it ain't done, but it's written.
Okay.
We're just waiting now to. We're trying to find a director. Anybody know Antoine Fuqua? Tell him I'm looking for him.
You probably know people that know. You ain't that far away. You know everybody a little bit.
But his number changed. I had Antoine's number, but it changed. So I need to get his number again.
Now, I'm asking, like, who would you want to play you in your biopic?
Man, I like the kid Childish Gambino.
Oh, really? Okay.
But some other people I was talking to the other day, they were saying they like Denzel's son. So I don't know. You know, I'm gonna let the experts pick that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I do.
Well, I'm
gonna sell books and sell tickets.
You be slanging these books. I brought 2 of these. Like, I ain't know. I need some gas money. I said, I'm gonna buy these books because this brother's so smooth with it.
Well, I know the book can help you where you won't need gas money no more.
Yeah.
I remember one time I needed gas money and everything else, but you know, now I'm pretty good. You know, I don't need gas money no more. I remember I woke up one morning and I had $5 in my pocket. I couldn't go out and sell my T-shirts.
Oh wow!
Because I was broke. You know, like damn.
Yes, sir.
But you know, I hung in there, man, and kept grinding and stayed to the mission. And you know, now here I am today. Hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll be opening up my first dispensary, and my marijuana brand is in 6, maybe 7 states. My goal is to be in all 35 states that's legal. I'm a consultant for social equity marijuana around the country. You know, I go and speak about why they should be allowing blacks to get into the business. Getting ready to do some record stuff too. You know, I'm looking for. I'm gonna have a contest on my website where I'll be looking for the best artists unsigned, and they're gonna win some money. I don't know how much money yet. I gotta go to my stash and see how much money I got in it because I'm gonna give it all to some lucky artist. Not lucky because they got to be talented. I don't believe in luck really, but might take a little luck too because there's some talented people out here. So they better bring their A game. But I'm working on that right now too.
Wow.
The movie, we got the script done. We're looking for the director. I'm also working on a TV series too. You know, and then I got the podcast After the Snow. I got some diesel trucks. I got 2 diesel trucks. I got boxers that I'm working with too. Anthony Peterson, looking to fight anybody at 135, 140. He said he don't care who they is, what their name is, where they from.
I like that.
He said, let's dance. Bashan Champ, Alvin Vermeer, Simeon from St. Louis. I got about 8 or 9 fighters signed. I can't name them all.
It was like it's the Freeway team or Team Freeway.
Team Freeway, baby.
All right, man.
Yeah.
I want to ask, like, how you stay so positive? It's like a lot of people. It's mental health is real in the Black community. Like, you've been in prison, you've been in a lot of crazy situations. How do you remain so positive?
I was happy in prison.
Yeah, well, explain to us, like, how is that possible?
Because I'm alive. Whatever I'm going through right now, I can change that tomorrow. You know, I was telling all my friends the other day that I'm writing my new book, right? I said, you know, the way I talked about you in the first book was one thing, but now you can change that in this book here. Or do you want to be the same person you was in the first book?
Right.
You know, because the action you start to take now is going to be the way that you portrayed in this new book. Yeah, I don't know if they got it or not, but you know.
Well, you gave them a chance because this is like what the second printing of this book, right? The second edition of this book.
Well, that's just the second print. I mean,
second print. Okay.
Yeah, they put that second edition on there. I don't know why, but.
So why did you choose Kathy Scott to help you tell your story?
Because she did Tupac and Biggie, and I wanted my book. You know, my book is self-published.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
you know, I seen on eBay people selling it for like $100-something and everything. Like that's the first printing or something.
I don't know, maybe so. I ain't never seen that. I've sold a book for $100 though, but I didn't know other people were selling it for $100.
I'm trying to pull it up, but I gotta ask you too, because I'm just fascinated by you. You a guy in the ghetto that had a passion for tennis. And I was just thinking about when I'm talking to you, you seem like you're very passionate about tennis and music. And I guess this living. But I got to get your take on the King Richard movie. What's your thoughts about Richard Williams and what he did with the?
I knew Richard Williams.
Okay, what's your take on him?
Richard was cool. He wasn't like he was portrayed in the movie, but he was really cool. Really strict with his daughters. You know, he didn't let them. We would be at the tennis courts. I just knew him from the tennis courts. You know, tennis tournaments. I didn't know him outside of that. Never been over his house or nothing like that there. But he was really determined. And when the girls was young and they wasn't playing all that well, he said it was gonna be great. You know, he said they was gonna be great.
Did you believe that? Did you believe that at the time?
I didn't, because I had some other tennis coaches that was in my ear, and the way that they played tennis at that time, and it was kind of revolutionary. You know, they was doing stuff that you normally don't do in tennis.
Wow.
So no, not at that time. I didn't believe him. If I would have gave him some money to help him out.
That is another part of the Rick chapter, Rick Ross story, man. You there's Hollywood can't invent somebody like you. You don't exist really. If I was pitching the story
that's why
Hollywood,
but Hollywood don't want to tell us. They're gonna dumb our stories down.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want our stories to be. That's why we got to tell our own stories. You know, we got to get our own money. You know, well, we got the money. We just got to learn how to channel that money. You know, that $1.2 trillion that we make every year. We got to learn how to channel it into ventures for ourselves. You know, and not allow everybody else to feed off of us, which is what's happening right now.
Most definitely, and
probably whole countries is feeding off of us. China probably loved, you know, black people. Boy, y'all love them Air Jordans. Keep buying them.
Well, I'm actually
we make them for $5 and y'all pay $200.
Woo. Yeah, what a markup, fool, right? Yeah, everybody's fool. But I gotta ask you, like, when you was doing tennis, do you see tennis being big like this for black people? Like when you was like in high school,
well, Arthur Ashe was the number one tennis player in the world.
Who was that?
Arthur Ashe.
Oh yeah, so that was your hero, right?
Right. Until I met Superfly.
And here we are with this book. I read the
Freddie's dead. and then I became Superfly.
Well, man, ask you this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I fell in love with him, and then I became him.
So I mean, see, that's a Hollywood trick, right? I mean, they put that out there because like at the end of Superfly, he walked away from the crooked cops with his back turned. That's not realistic, right?
Nah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of people caught up in
I
the
tried to
trick.
walk
Yeah.
away from him, and they gave me all these stitches in my forehead.
Exactly. But you still here to tell about it. But I'm saying, like, I'm gonna ask you this: like, I know you the Snowfall situation with John Singleton that's got straightened out, right? I mean, John passed on, and
I get straight now.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I know. I mean, I know about
Man, Hollywood don't care no. You see, they doing Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson mad right now because they doing
most definitely.
You know, without his permission, but they ain't got. They feel like they ain't got to pay Negroes. Like Negroes, stop it. Stay in your place.
Well, actually, yeah, about the quality of these so-called black gangster TV shows and movies. What's your take on the current crop that's out there right now?
I don't watch them, man. Too much sensationalized. Let me say this here. You know, the federal government did a study, and they found out that most black drug dealers are nonviolent because they understand you couldn't be a businessman doing a crime, and you know that if you do something else, you get violent, that the police is coming, and you go out and commit violence. It don't make logical sense. So,
right.
When you see these movies and they got these guys killing, you know, I think Franklin already killed. This is where I'm at right now. He's already killed about 12 people, and he's still walking the street. You know, it's a serial killer.
Basically,
you'd be considered a serial killer, you know, killing that many people. So everybody in the country will be talking about you. This guy's killed 12 people, and we don't know who he is. We don't know where he's at, but he's killing people, and we want to know why.
That's great. But you know what? Like, you look at even, like, you know, organized crime, like, you know how the mafia, the Italians, it's the earners that last longer than the hitters. You can always get a hitter. You always get some crazy, but like the guys who not create opportunity to make money, it's like they last
Well,
longer,
that's
like the
supposed to be
Meyer
what
Lansky's and people like that.
that's really what it's supposed to be all about, you know, making some money, getting out of a situation, you know.
Yeah.
But when these TV shows sensationalize killing and violence, and then you look at our communities, and then you wonder why our young people are committing so much violence.
Yes.
And it's no wonder, you know. You don't even have to wonder about that no more, you know.
What about the state of the hip hop music? Like, it's so totally different even in the 80s versus now. I mean, like, all the violence, all these rappers. I'm in Memphis right now. We lost Young Dolph, and they still dropping. And you know, like, it's crazy right now because all
Dolph
these
was cool too. I like Dolph.
Y'all meet? You ever
yeah,
meet Dolph?
yeah. I knew Dolph.
So what's your take on Dolph? What's your take on him?
Well, I just knew him from a couple shows that we did together. I didn't. I never been over his house either.
Like, we ain't tight like that. We just associated.
Yeah, we wasn't tight like that. Yeah. You know, I liked the Dolph. You know, I really wanted to work with Dolph. You know, I tried to reach out to him. You know, a few times, but we was never able to do any work together. But I like Dolph. I mean, you know, Dolph was fucking talented. You know.
About Nipsey Hussle, you ever get a chance to connect?
I knew Nipsey too.
Yeah, so we lose a lot of the good ones in terms of trying to help the community. It's like they don't last that long.
Well, you know, you gotta know how to maneuver through the black community. You know, the black community is a place that's tricky. You know, we have people in the black community that's lunatics.
Yeah, we do. We do.
You know,
yeah.
I'll be the first to tell you that we have some people that are crazy, and if you don't do the right thing with them, or if you push them over the edge, you know, they'll kill you.
Yeah, you're right. You know what you saying? I was looking at this documentary series recently on Stars about this guy named Samuel Little. He's probably America's most prolific serial killer. He's a black dude. They say he killed about 93 women that they know of. He died out in Los Angeles in prison back in 2020. Wow. At the age of 80. So I mean, it's like all these stereotypes. Black people not serial killers. Like you said, you do got some lunatics out there. Some
we do. We have some. We have some lunatics. So, you know, you have to know how to navigate through the hood. You know, and sometimes, you know, guys forget, you know, where they at. You know, who they talking to, and You know, you got to always be on, like me, I stay on my P's and Q's because I know where I'm at. You know, I know that where I live, it could go down anytime. You know, somebody could come through, you know, gunning for the gang that lives in this area. And sometimes they just shoot at anybody, you know. So
So why do you stay in that neighborhood then? What makes you stay?
it's the only thing I can afford.
Okay, it is expensive out there.
California's expensive, man.
So you don't want to leave
And I
Cali,
didn't
huh?
want, and I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be renting.
I got you. But you know what's funny? They buying up South LA, right? They gentrifying a lot of that stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Where I'm at now, it's only a matter of time before this be all white. I mean, we got white people right now that walk through with their dogs and.
Hey, nobody don't bother. That's weird, ain't it? I be like in Harlem and
Well, you
Baltimore.
know, if you do something to a white person, you get more time. So
That's what it is. They more valuable.
yeah.
I got it's so much that you, Mr. Ross, you bring so much into my mind. When I talk to you, it's like got all this stuff that you bring out of me.
And you know, you told me it was gonna be short.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, but I don't. A couple more questions, I promise. But I gotta ask you about.
You're gonna have me on there 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know I did have you on there, but I just like I gotta get you back on here. There, I definitely gotta get time back on. I gotta go to do some more of your research and stuff like that. But I gotta ask you.
You're gonna join my millionaire club.
Oh, join your millionaire. Is that on your website?
Yes, FreewayMillionaireClub.com. You know, with that, I'm gonna make the goal is to make 250 millionaires.
Okay, I want to be a millionaire.
All right, well, you should join then.
Okay.
Go ahead. So what was you gonna ask me before I cut you off? I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's like it's so much I want to like about the.
You ain't gonna get it all in today.
Don't. No, I know I ain't get it all in today, but like it's exciting to talk to you. Like when I first met you, I was rejuvenated. I was going through a real down time that day.
That's how I do people.
Yeah, you got a gift, man. That's why it's hard to
I do people like that. You know, I lift them up. I make them feel better. Like it ain't so
bad.
All right. It could be. It could be bad. It could be worse than this.
Yeah.
You know, I can have the police boot in my back. You know what I'm saying? Tell him I can't breathe and he ain't gonna let up. Might squeeze a little harder.
Yeah, I gotta ask you about the state of the music and how it influences the youth. Like, what would you do? Would you clean it up, or you just let things go the way it is?
I'm gonna do what I'm getting ready to do right now. I'm gonna have a music contest.
Okay.
I'm gonna find the best rapper. See, I know these labels. They don't want us. You know, we know that the record labels invested in the prison industry complex. We know that. So quite naturally, they would be promoting music that's prison music. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're gonna do is we just gonna counteract that. You know, we're gonna try to find some happy-go-lucky music, some fun music. You know, some get high music. You know, some kickback music, and put our own money behind it. You know, where we don't go to the record labels and ask them for their money. We don't need their budget. You know, because when you ask for their budget, then you got to play what they tell you to play.
This is true. This is definitely true. Whoever writes the checks, they control. They make the rules.
Yeah, they say money is king. So we're raising our own money right now. Looking good. And we're going to have this contest where I find the right artists. Because so many artists hit me up, man. It'd be crazy. So what I'm thinking about doing, right, I want to get an artist from each state and then let them go head to head. You know, fly them out to Cali and let them go head to head at my studio. And you know, just lay the whole thing out. It's gonna be nice. I'll probably have to do a whole podcast with this.
Definitely need to support that. And also, I gotta ask you about, speaking of rappers, of the RICO laws, how they use it against people like Young Thug and those type of rappers. What do you be your suggestion?
I'm surprised they ain't been doing that. Because you know, in federal court, you know, all they got to do, they don't have to show any dope. All they just got to show is that the intent was there.
Mm-hmm.
That you intended to sell some dope. And you know, I've been wondering, like, well, why they don't arrest these guys? Say they sold 300 kilos of cocaine. You know, they said it on the tape. You know, because if they caught me talking on a phone or a microphone or anything, and they got on tape where I was saying, yeah, I was selling this amount of dope. They took that shit to court and played it for the jury. He said, jury, you believe it? You believe him or do you not believe him? And you know, if the jury said they believe you was telling the truth when you say you sold 300 keys, then they lock you up. You go to jail for that.
Wow.
So if you understand that, then you understand that all these rappers who are talking about the stuff they do are really putting themselves in jeopardy, really. It's just that I don't know, you know, the record labels and the prosecutors, they all kind of like in cahoots. So they'll just get the ones they want when they want them, and the ones they don't want, they'll just let them keep, you know, spreading the word to the youngsters to commit crime so they can go to jail.
That's crazy, like how they weaponize our own creations against us. That's insane.
Yeah, something that was one time what we used to counteract what they was doing. It's crazy, you know, because that's how the rap really, you know, rap started off kind of like a rebellious, you know, against the machine. But
So
they
let me
took it
ask
over.
you, who's the most impressive person you ever met in your life? Like the most impressive?
Wow. According to different areas, you know, Minister Farrakhan, Reginald Hutland.
Oh yeah.
I was definitely impressed with Reggie. Reggie, super, super smart brother. Who else? I don't know. I done met a lot of brilliant people, man, in my life. You know, I'm drawn to brilliance. You know, I can't help it. If I see a brilliant person, you know, I'm gonna go over and throw myself in the rim. You know, I may not get in the conversation, but I'm gonna definitely be in the rim. But I would say those two, definitely right off the top, has really impressed me.
I mean, you look in the mirror every day, you meet a brilliant person, right? You look in the mirror.
Absolutely. And in my personal opinion, the greatest that ever lived.
That's right. There you go. You got to think like that. But definitely, most definitely,
I mean,
you
I
draw.
definitely feel like that the world is gonna be better because I live. You know what I'm saying? And one of the rappers said, because my mama didn't abort me. You know, so it's definitely gonna make the world a better place. That's one of my goals, and one of the big goals is to make sure that we as blacks don't fall into that prediction. You know, they predicted in 20 years we'll be totally broke. So, you know, I want to make sure that don't happen because our babies got to eat too. And I know if you ain't got no money, might be crypto.
Oh yeah.
But you're going to need that money.
Yeah. I got, you know what? You are very brilliant. If you told people that you didn't learn how to read until you was 28, I don't think anybody would believe that.
I know. I don't believe it either.
So how do you go? I mean, what happened where you wasn't able to read or didn't know how to read?
What I found out is I never wanted to read.
You never wanted to read.
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't care. My man, you say he's.
Hello, Brother Ross.
Yeah, that was somebody calling me.
Okay,
that's my Sunday morning call.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't interrupt your Sunday morning.
They say, my man said, "What's the difference between a guy who won't read and a guy who can't read?"
What's the difference?
None. Ain't neither one of them gonna get no reading done.
But you chose not to. But once you applied yourself, not only did you learn how to read, you got yourself out of prison, like being a jailhouse lawyer. Correct?
I became a prolific reader. Yeah. I read over 300 books before I left jail. That's why I'm able to do the things that I'm doing right now.
Like outside your autobiography, what book would you recommend, or books like for persons that trying to turn their life around or trying to do something different?
Tell them to go online; they can find them. I always talk about them. No, I'm gonna tell them: Think and Grow Rich, The Richest Man in Babylon, and As a Man Think or As a Woman Think.
Okay,
so you got my three favorites. They should have read my book and got them though.
Oh yeah, they gonna. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to get this book.
They ain't gonna buy my book.
Yeah, they are gonna buy. Trust me, they gonna buy your book. I ain't not gonna buy two of these, man.
They ain't gonna buy them. Listen, you held it up, but Oprah ain't held it up yet. See, they ain't gonna buy them until Oprah say.
Well, Oprah gonna have to get this. She got to help you produce your movie too, or something. She got to do something to give back.
I don't think Oprah like guys who went to prison.
Well,
at least she play like she don't.
But you know what? America is an interesting place. It's all about you get second chances or third chances about reinvention, and you have reinvented.
They say that. They say that, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think you're doing a phenomenal job, man. You got out of prison in 2009. You never been back.
Nope,
you ain't trying to go back.
I ain't going back. They don't want me back no way. So I go in there. I'm gonna teach in there.
Oh yeah, you're a very powerful brother. That's why I respect you so much. Like, you know, thank you for taking the time. But also, you
I've been back to prison, but I came out the same day.
Yeah,
I
I heard
walked
about
in. Hey, I walked in. I walked out.
Yeah, I heard I read in an article that you was a traffic stop. You had 100,000 on you and tried like it was illegal or whatever. They
Yeah,
had to let you go.
They did. They marijuana, you know, the marijuana business.
Well, I got to ask you about the marijuana. I know you in the marijuana, but it's legal now. But the situation with Brittany Griner, what's your take on her situation over in Russia?
You know, you gotta know where you at. You know, whatever you're doing, you know, you really got to be a critical thinker. She should have known the laws that they were hard on them. You know, for a little bit of marijuana. Hopefully, Russia, you know, will give her a break. But at the end of the day, you know, a lot of times we do things that I didn't know I was looking at life sentence.
Right.
You know, I thought, you know, I go to, you know, get caught, go do 10 years. You know, I ain't killed nobody, so they ain't gonna kill me. But when you don't know, you know, ignorance is no excuse, they say in court. So by her being ignorant of the fact that, I mean, you know, she should have hit that joint and threw it in the trash can, you know, because you couldn't smoke on the airplane, no way. And then when you got to California, got back to the U.S., you know, you get that shit everywhere. You know, it's all over America now. You know, America has adopted marijuana as a part of society. Russia hasn't yet.
Right, like
that's my take on that.
That was that. But you think if Trump was in office, she would have got home by now? She would have been home.
I don't know, man. I don't care about Trump, man. Trump don't like people look like me.
Do any of them like people that look like us though? Do you think Biden likes us?
I don't know.
He created them policies to put a lot of people like us in prison, though. Did he not? I mean,
they all did. They all did. Black people did too. Maxine Waters did. That's my.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned her. I got some issues with Maxine, but that's another story.
So you know, I mean, you know, you can be ignorant of the fact. You know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They was ignorant, but Donald Trump is a whole nother level. With Donald Trump in there, you know, the skinheads, they gonna try to make their moves, you know.
But did he create this? But he just like, because of who he is, it exposes. Is it better for us to know that they exist still, like these race soldiers, instead of being sleepwalking? Like, you know, is it better for us to know that you got police officers that are neo-Nazis and skinheads or white nationalists?
Shit, we knew that. I knew that already before Donald Trump got in there. I knew that was there.
You did know
it. But I don't want them to come out with their sheets.
But I mean, I want to know where I'm at though. I mean, I've been out to California.
Well, you know where you at. You know,
yeah, I know where I'm at.
But when they start bringing their sheets out in the M14s and M16s and all that stuff, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother level.
We as black folks, we not prepared to deal with this. Like, we're not taught right in terms of how to deal with certain people in certain areas of human activity.
Of course we're not. We're taught by slaves, owners. And then you look, our ancestors are only a couple decades from being out of slavery. So,
yeah,
you know, but we don't know much.
I got a great grandfather who was born to slavery.
But we don't want no motherfucker in there that's going to give him the green light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he going to give him the green light, the kill. So, no, I don't care for Trump.
Okay. That's fair enough. Also, I got to...
You say this was gonna be short, man.
It is. I mean, it's short. I'm wrapping it up. I promise I'm wrapping it up. I gotta ask you a question about young people, because I had my car broken into recently, like on Friday, and 19 and 20 of my other neighbors got their car broken into. It's like a lot of kids around the city are roaming in groups, breaking in people's cars.
They ain't got nothing to do.
So what is the okay? So what can we do?
We gotta give them some hope.
But how though, Brother Rick? How?
Well, you got to show them what hope look like.
Okay.
That's why they like me.
Well, we need to bring you back here. You need to be mayor of Memphis then. How about that? You run for mayor of Memphis?
I will, yeah. I come from Memphis. And Memphis got some pretty women.
They got pretty dangerous women.
They dangerous too.
You know about that in L.A. though.
Yeah, I ain't worried about no danger. They ain't going to do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? One thing I find out about people.
Yeah.
They don't kill the one who bring the food.
Why they kill Dolph then, man?
The ones who killed Dolph, they wasn't eating off of Dolph.
Okay. They don't kill the ones that bring. Okay, I got you. I like you, man. You a smooth, man. You smooth cat. You ever thought about being a lawyer? You ever thought about wanting to practice law?
Nope, I don't want to go back to school.
Well,
I
been in school, right?
still don't really like school. I don't understand school. You know, they preparing you for a bunch of stuff you ain't gonna never use. You know.
Well, I gotta ask you. So you brought this up. So you student loan debt forgiveness should be all. Should they actually do student loan debt forgiveness for people since they can't find jobs in their field of study and they ain't gonna never pay it back anyway? Should there be loan forgiveness?
I don't know. You know, I never dealt with none of that stuff. You know, they never gave me a loan. If you get a loan, you're supposed to pay it back.
Even with high interest rates, inflation.
I mean, you know, do the best you can. When you sign your name on something, that's supposed to be what you do.
But ain't
nothing wrong with them forgiving them though. You know, if the government got to give it to them, bless the kids, get them out of debt.
I'm talking these older people though. These people like in their 50s and 60s got like a amazing student loan.
What they gonna forgive them for? They ain't gonna never pay no way. So like you said, man.
But America never pays its debts either though. America as a republic.
And they got big guns though.
They got big guns.
Yeah.
But okay, this is my last question. I promise my last question. Black well, two more. I gotta ask you about Gary Webb.
Get off my phone blowing up.
I know. I want to ask you about Gary Webb. Your take on you ever meet Gary Webb? Actually,
I met Gary Webb. Yes.
What's your take on him? On his
I like Gary. Gary was a good guy.
Okay.
You would like Gary too.
Do you believe he killed himself, or you think something else happened?
Nah, I don't know. They say he shot himself twice in the head, so you figure that out.
And also,
do the math.
Do the math. Okay. Black reparations. Should we give reparations for what we've been through as far as being Native Black Americans or foundational Black Americans?
They give it to everybody else. Give it to us too.
Well, thank you.
All right. I'm done.
You, bro.
Hey, y'all follow me on Freeway Rick on Instagram, Free Ricky Ross on Facebook. Peace. I'm out.
Love you madly, man. Thank you, man. And that wraps it up, folks. We had Brother Ricky on here doing his thing. And I delivered, right? I came through. Y'all said y'all couldn't understand the other thing we did in that crowded store. I promise you, Memphis is a hater city. I never thought my city had this much hate. It's like every time I try to do stuff, people like try to be loud, they try to be disrespectful, but we got through it. That's how I do it. That's how we do it, and we all be in it to win it, man. So I want to thank y'all for being patient and for hanging out with us on this Sunday, fun day. But I am going to do some more things. I might do another show tonight. Talk about the situation in Memphis. Like I said, I was affected. They were trying to break into my car. They smashed my driver window door. Yeah, my driver's window door glass. They almost broke through. They couldn't break through it. But they also terrorized 19 of my neighbors, as far as I know, and they did it again the next day. I had another neighbor. She got her car stolen in the middle of the day at the Natural Civil Rights Museum. I mean, she was there to check out, I think, Ruby Bridges, the sister who helped integrate schools down in New Orleans back in the day when she was a child. I think her name is Ruby Bridges. Is it Ruby Bridges? But she was out there checking that event, and somebody took her car. And this is a good woman, an advocate for the community, a believer in our people, and she got disrespected like that. And it's just really like, I'm trying to figure out, because the police, they even get their car stolen. The police said, well, I got my car smashed as well, too. I said, you the police. He said, I know. Our hands are tied. And he told me about one of his colleagues, a police officer. His brother confronted a carjacker that was trying to, that it took his Corvette. And the carjacker shot him. And from my understanding is that they are using teenagers, or even people as probably as young as 10 years old and 12 to break into these cars. They're looking for guns. And also they're taking the cars. We had lost two prominent people. I know, like Reverend Eason Williams, Reverend Artura, Dr. Reverend Artura Eason Williams lost her life in July at doing a carjacking in front of her home. I think she lived in Whitehaven out here in Memphis, and killed by some kids. I think they were Hispanic kids. At first, I thought they were black kids, but other sources say they were Hispanic. Nonetheless, they're young people, and they killed this wonderful woman who advocated for second chances for young offenders, and they just took her out like that. And I went to her wake because my mom knew her, had respect for her, and I know her daughter, have respect for her daughter. She's really going through right now. Please send out prayers to the family of Reverend Artura Eason Williams. She I saw her in that casket, man. Her face did not look like her. Her face, you can tell she had a lot of trauma to her face. And that was a good, beautiful soul who believed in our young people, who love her city. And the fact that I'm talking to you all right now, you know, I'm celebrating, like I was featured in an article recently, right? You know, and you know, I'm celebrating the fact that I was featured in this article. Shout out to Memphis Voyager magazine for featuring me on their website. I appreciate all the love and positivity I got from everybody who follows the We All Be movement. And then the next day, I remember the landlady sent out a mass email to the residents saying uh, there's been a report of vandalism, and let us know if your car got hit. So I was on my way early afternoon, about to run some errands. And then I see this small piece of yellow legal notepad paper on my windshield, and it had a report number on it. And then I look on the side, on my driver's side, I see my window cracked up and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, it's cracked. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't even like upset. I was like cool, calm, and collective about it because I'm saying to myself, I know my time was coming, because I had neighbors who got their car smashed up and broken into several times. And I'm living in downtown Memphis, right? This is like I'm right by the train station. I'm right by the U.S. Postal Service distribution hub. I got the National Civil Rights Museum right across the street from me. This is a tourist attraction area. A lot of high value stuff in this area. And yet you have all these people getting their cars broken into, houses and homes broken into. This got to stop. This cannot go on like this. This is ridiculous. Because you be afraid for your parents and stuff walking out, running errands. It just don't make no sense to me that the city is off the chains like this. I had no idea. Like I want to know, people said, I don't look at the news because if I look at the news, I'll never leave my apartment going to Memphis. Now it's happening to me. Like, oh my God. I refuse to pay like $300 every time somebody smash up my window. That's ridiculous. Like the rent is too damn high. They keep on raising the rent, but they don't have our buildings secure. Like this is not a home. Like what Luther Vandross said, a house is not a home. But we're gonna have to change some things about what's going on. So I'm gonna leave it at that for now. You like the words from Brother Hurd? You like my guest? Please spread the word. Now let me check out the chat. All right, before I get out of here. And like I said, Ricky Ross, man, that dude a good brother, man. He just have a great spirit about him. That's an amazing young man. I wish him all the continued success. Can you tell that he made peace with himself about whatever he was involved in? It was definitely bigger than him and bigger than hip hop, no doubt. So, yeah. So it's just a lot to talk about. I'm just trying to just get through it and just not be bitter, but be better. Don't let this stuff get me too down. Yeah, I was gonna put this picture up. That's us at the CBD store, CBD store, East Memphis, on Hash Cross. And this store is not that far away from where they killed Lorenzen Wright in that field by the apartment. So I mean, Lorenzen Wright's wife is in prison. Then the accomplices are in prison. But I'm saying Memphis is an interesting place. We kill people here that like to give back to us. Like he said, you don't kill the people that feed you. People kill the folks that feed them all the time. People are always biting the hand or killing the hand that feeds them. You understand? So, but this is a good brother right here. I really enjoyed him. true to the code. He's a man of honor. He keeps his word. Thank you, Sister Barbara, for supporting us always. Yeah, but I said, like, what's the answer though? Because like, like Judge Joe Brown, like, he load and lock. It ain't lock and load, it's load and lock, like he said. I mean, if I shoot this kid, it's like, I'll talk to the police officer about it. So they say if you shoot at the person breaking into your car, their parents or guardians can sue you, even though they was the one committing the crime against you. It'll be like the wild, wild west out here because, yeah, these kids, they young kids. And I hate to see that because a woman was telling me at one of these glass repair shops that one of her clients, he got his car broken into 3 times. He said enough was enough. So what he did was he put a raccoon trap in his driver's seat, but he hid some stuff on top of it. So when the young guy broke into his car and reached into the seat, he got his hands all jacked up. And I don't even feel sorry for the guy because also the police said they'll catch some of these young kids, they'll arrest them, and then the judge will let them go. He told me about one case where a kid was caught for stealing cars. They let him go, and then as soon as he left the court, he stole another car because he didn't have a ride to get back home to. Instead of him catching the bus or getting an Uber or Lyft, he decided to lift somebody's car and take it for a ride. So this, I mean, like right now, I feel like the adults, we're the Dr. Frankensteins. We created these monsters that we're afraid of. We are afraid of our own children. Cause like I asked the police, should we confront these people that's violating our property in our community? He told me that story about his colleague whose brother got killed, trying to confront a young person over stealing his Corvette. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to, but something got to change, man. I refuse to be a prisoner or live in fear in my own home. And like, even the police here getting their cars broken into. Like the police director, CJ Davis, I believe her name is, she got her car broken into. And like I said, she got a gun stolen from her car. This is the person who runs the Memphis Police Department. And she's from the ATL. Memphis is on a whole nother level with this mess. I don't know, man. This city is so strange, man. It's a weird time to be alive. But Judge, if you listening, you need to run for mayor of Memphis. You have my support, brother, because this got to change. This has got to change. Police came police, man. Like you want the police when you need them, but then they show up for the wrong reasons. Then, but when you need them, they can't do nothing for you. They paper tigers. Like the police officers told me, we're nothing but paper tigers, man. We can't do nothing for y'all because our hands are tied. You damn if you do, you damn if you don't. Yeah, I agree. But it's hard though. Yeah, I mean, it's a cycle. It's like what Tupac said with Thug Life: "The hell you give little infants, F's everybody." That's what Thug Life was about. It ain't about being a degenerate. It's about the hell you give little infants, F's everybody. The hate produce. So I mean, like, but we're afraid of our children. We can't discipline them. Lack of discipline, lack of places for them to be kids. Like even in Memphis, they held the fair come around, the Delta Fair coming next week, and all that stuff. But at the same time, they closed down places like Crystal Palace, like the Rolling Skate places, Putt Golf, Adventure River, Liberty Land. These were places when I was growing up that was available for kids to vent their frustrations, to socialize before social media. This is back in the 80s and 90s. Those places are no longer in the city. So you got people, they've got no job training programs for these kids. There's no rites of passage but going to juvenile and going through adult prison. It's a pipeline, like with the music. See, the musicians got to clean this stuff up. Like, people don't understand how powerful the music is. Because even I love Young Dolph. We're going to honor Young Dolph. But it's like the content, like C. Dolores Tucker. See, I'm a big Tupac fan, but C. Dolores Tucker was right about the state of affairs when it comes to our music. There is no love. The love is lost in this music. The only time you really feel the love in a lot of this music, the so-called hip-hop music, is when they sample like the old school music, like the love music from the 70s. Because even when you look at my cousin Curtis Mayfield, he was balanced. He had those civil rights anthems, Move On Up. He also did the Superfly stuff. But it was a balance. He talked about the hell below, and I'm so proud of you, and all this other stuff. So there's no balance no more. Even Tupac had that balance. But we don't have that no more. The music, the social media is really destroying our people. Yeah, in Carriage One, you remember Scott LaRock was a social worker, and they killed Scott LaRock. He was a social worker. So like we got responsibility to our people to hold each other accountable and to set a higher standard of excellence. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. And the best is yet to come. We like the words from Brother Herb. Please spread the word. Follow us on We All Be TV. He said, who was Gary Webb? Look at the movie Kill the Messenger. You'll find out who Gary Webb is. And also his article that he did called Dark Alliance should be still up on the web. He did for the San Jose Mercury News. But they blackballed him. They shadow banned him in their way. They blackballed. He was an award-winning investigative journalist, and then they blackballed him for telling the truth about our government being complicit in poisoning their own citizens. Never forget that the gun that got Dr. King came from who? The FBI, the same folks who raided Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Dana, well, I'll let you ask him that. I've just now seen, like, a lot of times I be doing these interviews. I don't be going through the comments like this. So next time, or better yet, he probably could do it on your show. But he did say that black folks deserve reparations. So I guess, yeah. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna have him on again, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But he did deserve. He said that black folks, our black people, did deserve reparations in general. Yeah, but being black, don't you think being black in America is a handicap? That could be considered a disability, being black in America, so-called black in America. Okay, thank you for checking it out. So I guess I'm just going to the comments now. I'm sorry about it. You had questions to ask. Really, reading. Baba Dick Gregory used to say reading was a violation. Some of the greatest musicians, for example, couldn't read music. Jimi Hendrix couldn't read music. He had intuition. He had the desire, passion. I know I met a woman, Sister Coley Clark. She was the executive assistant to the late great Medgar Evers. She said that her father, I interviewed her in Harlem back in 2015. She said that her father was illiterate, but he could build houses. Like he just knew how to measure things out intuitively. He could build whole houses without even using rulers and stuff like that and measurements, which is interesting. Something to that effect. Black folks, we are the original human beings. We are the teachers of humanity, the original architects of this thing. So you think about the Dogon people, right? Look up the Dogon. Dogon knew things about space before NASA even existed. The Dogon people. They said Benjamin Banneker was Dogon. But he made the Farmer's Almanac, and also he did the first, we call it grandfather clock. He built the first grandfather clock in America. And that grandfather clocks, whatever. And also he helped lay out DC from memory. He laid out what is now known as Washington, D.C. from memory. He had a photographic memory. He was a good friend of Thomas Jefferson. That's why Thomas Jefferson is a hypocrite, because he knew that black folks were not stupid or low IQ. Read up on Thomas Jefferson, what he really thought about black people. There's a lot of black folks named Jefferson for a reason. He was dipping in, jumping over in, people beds at night, jumping over forget the broom, jumping over the fence into them slave cabins. But yeah, I mean, black people, we're amazing people, man. Thank you so much for the support. We ain't necessarily the biggest platform, but I try to be consistent and bring y'all quality content. So I think I'll do another show. I'm gonna work out. Everything gonna work itself out. And thank y'all for all the donations and that will be donating. We love you madly. Thank you, Drew Who, for your donation. And everybody else, Sister Dana with the data. Check her out. Do great work with Judge Joe Brown and other things with her crack reparations stuff. Check her out. And I may do another show tonight. I don't know. Probably will. Probably not. We talk about Memphis crime. And what we're gonna do about these young people besides shoot at them or whatever. Like how are we gonna help save the village from burning and imploding? That's what I want to focus on. So thank y'all so much. Like the words from Brother Heard, please spread the word. We All Be TV on YouTube. That's our channel. Also, want to support the channel, right? You can buy and wear Artivist art. Go below the video description box if you're on YouTube. Access the shelf at Teespring, our official Teespring site. You can get all our amazing art shirts from the Artivist on there. Also buy Artivist art at r2c2h2.com. That's r2c2h2.com. Also, you can support the movement, Cash App, $R2C2H2. That's $R2C2H2. And also, you could Google Pay, PayPal, and Zelle support R2C2H2 at gmail.com. R2C2H2 at gmail.com. You can Venmo your support at R2C2H2. So that'll wrap it up for this segment. Thank you all. Before I leave, I'm gonna read a disclaimer because people always trying to say, well, you can't believe the words that come out of my mouth. You should do your own research, but at the same time, this is a platform. Disclaimer: the views expressed by host and guests on the We All Be TV platform are not the official views, opinions, beliefs, or perspectives of We All Be News or the We All Be Group Incorporated. We All Be News is an organization that thoroughly believes in supplementing the information narrative that is usually supplied by the corporate news entities with those viewpoints and expressions which may be marginalized or ignored for a plethora of reasons. We are about informing the general public on alternative perspectives as it relates to news and information, and letting the general public be the ultimate judge in deciding how to use said information. Informed citizens are responsible citizens. Thank you for your support. And thank you all once again for your patience, for your understanding, for your love, for your sincerity. And know that the best is yet to come. And we love you all madly. One love, man. I'm out.